Hey YouTube, it's TD here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm trying to take these glasses off so you can see. But I wanted to come to y'all this morning to talk about dating with a purpose. So recently I broke up with my guy of 3 years. So I had been married for 30 years and then after we divorced, about 2.5 years later, I started dating this other guy. And I had known him for a long time. And we were cool and stuff. But we weren't good friends, but we were cool. And so he had wanted to start dating. Excuse me, guys, my allergies. I forgot to take my medicine. But anyway, so we started dating and I started seeing some red flags, but I let it go because of what I wanted was a man that was very financially stable, and he makes like maybe between 5 and 700,000 a year. So I felt like, okay, he's stable, but I knew that what came along with that was going to be some arrogance. It's rare that you get them that's starting to make money and they're not arrogant. I was able to deal with that. Okay, no problem. But then as I started helping him with his business and things that he needed, he started more and more becoming almost like he was like my boss, but like a bad boss, like a boss, like, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. And then just his tone. And so when I started telling him, I don't like the way that you speak with me. I need you to speak to me in a different tone, the same way that I speak with you. And then he would be like, well, you always going against me. You're always going against me. Like we went out one time and this what you have to watch too. Look at how people treat the waitresses. Look at how they treat the ballet people. Look at how they treat the housekeepers that come in, because we went out, and this wasn't too long ago, right? A little bit before the breakup, and we went out, and um, he said the waitress was trying to tell him, we went to Cracker Barrel. He loves Cracker Barrel, and the waitress was trying to tell him, you could get this particular meal that you want for your breakfast, but they're going to charge you for two of them instead of just one. And he was just, sorry, y'all. He was just hollering and acting up, well, just he took his hat off and slammed it on the table. I'm looking at him because it wasn't that crucial. I understand you stressed about business, but this lady has nothing to do with it. And she was an older white lady. She probably was around 70. And you could tell it scared her. And so she was like, I'll go get my manager. And he was like, no, you're gonna sit here and take my order. And she did. And so finally they went back and forth about 8 minutes, and she was her hands were shaking, and I finally told him, I said, what she's trying to tell you is she doesn't mind you getting both meals, but just understand you're gonna get charged for both of those meals. She can't substitute, because he kept saying substitute, and she was trying to explain to him, excuse me, that she cannot substitute. The way that they have it set up, they have to charge for two meals. He tells me, I've been ordering for myself for a long time. I don't need your help. I go and start looking at my phone. Okay. All right then. And so I started looking at my phone. Just little attitudes like that. Attitudes when they show you that they don't respect you. When a man or a woman shows you that they don't respect you, believe them the first time. You cannot make them respect you. There's not enough that you can do that they're going to respect you, because that's just who they are. And if you know in your heart of hearts that you have done all that you can, especially at my age of 50 and older, because I'm 58 now, 50 and older, do not waste any more time with those type of people. Just don't do it. And so the last straw, I was over there trying to help him get some stuff ready for his business for an inspection that was coming in, for some medication sheets and paperwork and stuff. He brought this other lady on. First of all, the other lady informed me when he was gone that she has always been the other woman and she didn't mind being the other woman. I ain't asked you that. Where that come from? Just up and said it. I was like, oh, okay. But I'm busy trying to get the stuff together, right? But now I realized she was telling me something. And so then she was supposed to be knowing what she was doing. Him and her asking me every 15 minutes, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I had been working from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. and sometimes to 1 a.m. trying to get this stuff done. So I'm working 16 and 17-hour shifts Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I was on vacation that week before. But we're getting everything together. This lady, I had told him that started earlier. He said this lady knew she didn't know a doggone thing about. She can tab out some stuff pretty, but that's all she could do. She didn't know anything about the meat and potatoes of it. So I'm doing all of it. So then I had to go to court Thursday about the contractor, which I won. And he calls me that morning. He sent me a text first showing me that on one of the mail sheets I had put May 2024, but I hadn't put the date in. Okay, just write in the 15th or whatever the day is, right? One mail sheet, 5 guys, one mail sheet. I go all the way back from May to January with 5 guys. Some of the guys taking 4 mails a day. So I'm using 2 and 3 reams of paper getting this stuff together, right? By myself. And so I said, okay, just write it in. So then he calls. You must be having your cough. I said, yeah, and I'm getting ready for court. Oh, yeah, I forgot you were going to court. Of course you did. Because it wasn't important to you what I got going on. You didn't care. No good luck at court, nothing, y'all. So then he says, so he says, well, you missed that date on the mail sheet. I said, just write it in. And then he was starting to tell me something. I said, look, I'm going to get back to the rest of those sheets. I had maybe about 10 more to go. When I get out of court, I said, but right now I'm going to worry about me. This is my day, and I'm going to worry about me, and I'll talk to you about it later. He said, well, I'm going to worry about me. I said, I wouldn't expect anything different from you. And I hung up because at that point, I already knew that once I helped him with this last project, we were done. We were done. I had got to where I wasn't having fun. I wasn't laughing. So and he was the only one benefiting from the relationship. And I could see it clearly. And so, and I wasn't going to let it go any further. And so I get out of court, I'm finishing everything up, and he just calling like I'm finishing everything up now. So he asked the other lady, Brenda, she was still at the house, to help him with some stuff. She's helping him with it. Come to find out, she did the mail sheet wrong. She had worked on it for an hour and a half. She had the audacity to call me and say, well, I did mine wrong, so I'm going to need you to do it. I said, no, I'm not doing it. I had already finished up 1, guys. I was doing 3 more, and you only got 1 to do. No, I'm not doing it. And she said she wasn't going to do it. And so he was like, well, don't worry about it. We'll just put these other ones in here for 2023. I had suggested that in the beginning, and he said that wasn't going to work. She said that wasn't going to work. And that Friday, I had my music on in the office. It's not loud. It's on my phone. I'm listening to mint condition. She's supposed to be such a Christian, the one that don't mind being another woman now. She's supposed to be such a Christian, but she asked him to ask me to turn my music off, and he did it. So that was the last straw for me. And I put my earbuds in, and my stuff was so loud in my earbuds, I couldn't hear nothing they were saying. So they had to keep coming in there asking me stuff. He was real frustrated about that. But at that point, I had got to where I didn't care. I didn't care. So I'm telling you all to let you know, put yourself first. You want to be good to someone else, but put yourself first. Because if you don't put yourself first, takers will start taking everything you got. They will suck you dry and then leave you high and dry. Put yourself first. When you start seeing those flags, you let them go. You let that person go immediately. But I'm going to tell you how good God is. I have a friend, my son's godfather, my oldest son's godfather. He has been around for over 35 years before I married, my last husband. And so he's always been there. And it was be times my husband be in and out of penitentiary. And if I needed help with lights, he would go pay that bill. Water, he would go pay that bill. Not enough food, he would make sure that we had what we needed. And it's so funny. And I've always listened to him. He's never been married. But we used to date back in the day in my early 20s. And you know, he takes me to nice concerts, just nice things. And but I've always been his ear with whatever's going on in my life. He bends his ear. I met women. He's been engaged 3 times, never married though, but I met all of them, you know. And I like two is I didn't like one, but I did like two of them. And so anyway, we were talking, and he said, "I'm here. Why can't you give me a chance?" He said, "You got mad at me when we were in our early 20s, but we've always been friends. I've always been there for you. Why don't you give me a chance?" And y'all, he's not a guy that would come in the room and turn your head or anything, but he's not an ugly guy either. You know, he's just a regular looking guy. But he's a good man, Savannah. He is a good man, and one that I know his ins and out. When my car was down week before last, my so-called boyfriend, he didn't offer to let me drive his car or his truck. This one, he has 2 cars. He let me take one of his cars, brought it to me so I could go to work while my car was getting fixed. Always been there for me and always been a good man. So this is what I realized. I prayed on it. And then this is what I realized. I've always had who I needed right there. God has always given him to me. He's always been right there. It's never been like a just burning. I just love you. I just love you. But it's always been a calm peace. I've always known if I'm down, he gonna lift me up. And when he had COVID, I took him a meal over there every day. I didn't go in the house, but I took him. But I would have if he needed me to. But he was like, no, just leave it on the porch. I would wait till he came out, and then I would leave it in that chair, and I would go on back to the car. The whole time he had COVID, so he knows I'm gonna be there for him too. And I've been there in other ways. But when I tell you, since I have given him a chance, I've been just so calm. It's been just like a calm, purposeful, peaceful inner peace. And I can't ask for more than that, y'all. Your inner peace is everything. So I want this to go out to young women, middle aged women, older women, and men too. Same sex, whatever you are. I'm heterosexual, but whatever you are, this video, I want all of y'all, all of y'all can use this. Look at yourself, decide what it is that you want. And you got to know your BS level. If you don't know your BS level, you will take their nonsense. See, I know my BS level. So with that ex one, that ex-boyfriend, I was already clicking the boxes. I don't like this. And I'm trying to talk to him about it. So he's telling me what he wants and what his concerns are. But when I go to tell him mine, I don't want to hear that shit. And what he said. If a man is telling you that they don't want to hear what you have to say, you let them go. Because you have to be your own best cheerleader. So this is Saturday, y'all, the June the 15th. And I just hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Stay healthy, stay hydrated. It's hot in Tennessee, y'all. It's 90 degrees already. And it's 7:46 in the morning. But y'all stay hydrated and, love yourself. Love yourself first. And don't let nobody tell you that it's wrong to love yourself first. And I'm going to tell you something else. That man start talking to you in a nasty tone for no reason. He starts screaming and hollering at you for no reason. He's setting you up for abuse. You get yourself out of there. You get yourself. Just like women, men and women, always have your own that you could go home to. Always. All right, y'all. It's been TD here, and thank y'all. And let's talk about it. Comment on it if you feel like it. Please share my channel if you get anything out of it. And y'all, you could have been anywhere but watching an old woman in Tennessee. Thank you. Bye.